Hi, in this video we're going to go through some example documents for the sole representative visa. Now we went through the list of documents in a previous video, but I didn't give you any examples, so it's the purpose of this live stream to give those examples. Now let me just remind you of what information needs to be covered in the documents. So what's needed is a full description of the company's activities, including details of the company's assets and accounts, and the company's share distribution for the previous year. So I highlighted before that if you change your shares, if you dilute your shares to fit the requirements, then the authorities will know about it. And if there's not a good business reason for you to have done so, then your application may fall to fail. I've highlighted before that for the equivalent route for Ireland, this is not a requirement. So if this is a problem for you, do get in touch and we can look at your other options. Then you need a letter which confirms that the overseas company will establish a wholly owned subsidiary or register a branch in the UK in the same business activities as the parent company. So this just highlights that it's not your business that you're starting, it's the parent company's business, and you're being sent as the senior employee to set it up, and it's got to be in the same business activity. You can't be doing anything different from what the parent company was doing. And then you need a job description and salary details. Now let me just go straight to the supporting document that I've provided here. So this is the notarized a statement from your employer that you require, and I've just given some example dummy details here. So I, Mr. Saeed, and that would be the head of the parent company, solemnly and sincerely to declare that I'm the director of the Abbott Group. Again, this is a fictional one for the purposes of this example. Mr. Aziz, who would be the applicant, so you in this case, will become to the UK as the sole representative of the company. And then I can confirm that I, being the director, will confirm that he will be our sole representative in the UK. Abbott Group has no other active branch, subsidiary or representative in the UK. Our operations will remain centred overseas, so you're not dissolving the parent company to set this up. And he will not engage in business of his own or represent any other company's interest. And then there's the notary formalities here. So this information is the information that's got to go in the notarized statement. And then you also need a letter from the parent company to confirm some other matters that don't have to be in the notarized statement. You can put them in the notarized statement if you want to, but there's no requirement under the rules. So this confirms that he is fully familiar with the company's activities and has full powers to negotiate and take operational decisions without reference to the parent company. So again, this is from the head of the parent company, Mr. Saeed in this case, writing in connection with Mr. Aziz's application. And then it says the overseas company will establish a wholly owned subsidiary and register a branch in the UK in the same business activity as the parent company. And then it will enclose, it says, I enclose a job description, salary details and contract of employment for Mr. Aziz. So again, this isn't you enclosing it, this is the director of the parent company providing this information. And then the other thing you need is a example description. So I'm just doing this live, so you have to bear with me, please. Thanks. So an example description you might use is Abbott Group, again, fictional company for the purposes of this video, is one of the world's leading telecom groups. Its high credit ratings reflect the fact that it has a strong balance sheet, etc. It's headquartered in Abu Dhabi. the 5th largest telecommunications service provider. It's a blue chip organization, and it does X, Y, Z, and its presence in these companies. So it's the example of the company's activities for the purposes of the sole representative visa. And this is what would be used to assess whether you're acting in the same business category, you're doing the same activities in the UK as the parent company. So the authorities need some point of reference in order to see if you're operating within the same business category. And this is why the example description is very important. So this is a broad description. You might want to be even more specific. There is a balance to be struck. You'll need to evidence that the UK company is doing the same things as the parent company. So those are 3 example documents. As for the sources of these, as I say, and as for that overall list that I showed you at the beginning, let me just bring that up again for ease of reference. So there's 9 documents in total. And let me just list them here. I won't read them all out, but I'll just put them here so you can reference them. And they're actually in the description below on YouTube. But I'll just put them there. I'll just highlight some points of reference. So the level of competence in English language for the sole representative visa is A1. So it's only beginner level, basic English. On maintenance funds, there's no formal requirement for maintenance like 945 or 630, but the government guidance says bank statements or pay slips for the last 6 months can be used. So it would be sensible for you to have funds at this level. And then lastly, you need a business plan. Point number 9 is you need a business plan. Now I'm going to do a separate video on an example business plan for the sole representative visa. But again, this should be the company's business plan, not your own personal business plan. And it's got to provide evidence of market research in the UK. And I have an example which I'm going to go through in the next video. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks very much. And if you would like any assistance with sole representative application, just let me know. You can also subscribe to this channel to get the next video on the sole representative business plan example. My details are below. I'd be very happy to have a consultation with you if that would help. Thanks and bye for now.